All right. Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to talk about calibrating to your highest vibrational range. So, basically, this was inspired by a conversation I had with a friend, and she helped me realize that as vibrational beings, we are always um, receiving certain frequencies based on the range that we can experience. Meaning, it's like the thoughts that you are perceiving, the thoughts that you are thinking are frequencies. They're like radio signals. And yeah, there's sort of like there's like a high point and a low point of that. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but yeah, like wherever you are at, like there's yeah, like a fluctuation,
Mhm.
right? Of just like, okay, you are at your peak right now, and then you're at your like a lower end of your range, right? So no matter where you're at in your life, no matter how well you're doing, you are always in this new range. So um it's sort of like the emotional guidance scale, you know? Like if you haven't seen the emotional guidance scale, you can look up Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale, and you can see like there's like a range of like emotions that you're experiencing. Like on the bottom of that range, right, is like fear or depression or whatever. At top is joy or whatever. But there is a scale of like there's an infinite ranged scale forever of just like how high you can calibrate to. Um, and basically, once you realize this, just by realizing this concept, you can start to see, okay, am I calibrated to the highest vibrational range for this period of my life, right? So, wherever your highest range is now is going to be like eventually going to be a low point of your new range, right? So
Yeah.
it's like my low, my lows right now are what used to be my highs. Like, it's crazy. Like my lows right now, like literally, yeah, like a year ago, when I was just struggling to make money online and just live freely and all that stuff, like, like it's crazy. Like my high would be like, oh, I could afford, iced coffee and like a steak right now, and like my low point right now is I can buy like 10 pounds of red meat every day if I wanted to, like, and like I'm driving the best cars and stuff like that. Like, and so, and like even at my lowest low right now, like in my most intense period right now, I went to like a beach resort twice in Fort Lauderdale in like in the span of a month, and that was like my lowest low. Like it was like it's crazy. So, and like a year ago, I could not fathom that, right? So
Mhm.
now, like I'm having my technically worst moments, which is to me just a little bit of stress, expansion stress. As I'm expanding to new heights, like a little bit expansion stress on the beach. Versus before, like that would have been my high. Like,
Yeah.
so we're constantly reaching new levels. But yeah, I basically reached a new level, and then I kind of got stagnant because I was just kind of maintaining, and I wasn't realizing it until uh my friend brought this concept up. And the moment she brought it up, I got it. I realized, wow. I asked myself, what can I do to calibrate to the highest timeline right now? So that there's no one technique to do this. That could look completely different for literally everybody. For some people, it's like, so look, you as the audience right now, ask yourself like, how can I really improve my vibration right now? How can I really improve my life right now to be for it to be more aligned with the highest version of this phase of my life?
Mhm.
So it's not about, okay, like becoming like a trillionaire right now or whatever. It's like looking at this phase of your life and how can you calibrate to the highest version of it. And I realized in this phase of my life, um, I could do a lot better with my family. And I realized, wow, like I'm not clear. I could clear more resistance, clear more negative thoughts, and do a little bit more affirmations with my family, and even little things like uh, I wasn't really gonna celebrate like some of my family members' birthday as hardcore as I like could. Like I realized, no, the highest version of this month is to really celebrate their birthday, and the highest version of this month is to really celebrate like Chinese New Year's coming up or whatever, and to go to the restaurant and watch the football playoffs like live and everything with my friends and stuff. And before I wasn't thinking these things, right? But it's like once you just really calibrate to that, it's like how can you just like how can you make this month or segment of your life more epic? And you know, I realized, okay, I need to practice more appreciation. Like if I just practice like 10 minutes of appreciation a day, I will be like at a peak um
Mhm.
for this range of my life. So that looks different for everyone, right? So for other people, it could be like you should meditate more. Like, maybe for you, you feel like you need to meditate 15 minutes every day, or you need to be more present, or you need to do more affirmations. So it's really looking at what's your highest version of this phase and calibrating to that highest vision of it, you know?
Mhm.
Um, any questions or any thoughts so far, Jasmine?
I think like as you were explaining it, it just reminded me of like when we were doing the episode about sobriety. Um and like how before, like in my example, like years ago, I was so like my low was to the point where if I smoked weed, for example, that would raise me up. And then after a while, like especially the last few years, I would smoke and it would actually like my vibration is so much more higher now that if I smoke, like it actually brings me down. So that's when I realized like, all right, like I don't need that in my life. So I think that's a good example of like how I completely transcended that emotional scale within myself and like that vibrational scale.
Yeah, no, that's the perfect example for real. Yeah, and that's the way it is. And so for people, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Another really good example that I was
Yeah.
just thinking about was like, I think like when people are more ego based in their thoughts, maybe it might make them feel happy to get validation from others, or when you're a
Mm.
people pleaser, like that's your source of goodness and joyfulness. But then after a while, like you tap into your power, it's like that doesn't even like that's not even a factor for you, you know? It's like I mean it's nice that I mean
Yeah.
like compliments and stuff like that, but it's like you don't need it because like you're just at a
Yeah.
completely different level. It's like all right, like just thank you and you belong.
Yeah, it's like if you're at your worst, right? Like you're extremely depressed, like doing crack is like amazing, right? But then like once you get to a certain point, there's like, oh no, like let me lay down the pipe, like you know what I'm saying? So it's like
But dude, I
something
almost
like
put
that.
that out. No, but it's so true though. Like what used to bring you enjoyment, and especially like on this journey, it's like you're gonna like, bro, we just shift and transform so quickly and so often. And I really love like I think it's really important to pay attention to that range that people are in because it might seem it's always gonna be a new range that you're tapping into. So just like being
That's
conscious of it in this moment now, like where you're at, I think it's gonna be so helpful.
that's literally what I'm saying. It's like for people like me, for like us, like we're shifting so much so constantly that you forget to calibrate. Like you're in a new range,
Yeah.
you're in a new bracket, like and you don't even realize it. So that's why it was so important for me to realize that. It's like, and for me, I'm working on a different level than a lot of people, but like, yeah. So it was like the last 3 months of my life in Bangkok and everything, I reached a super high level, and then when I got back home, I kind of like stayed at that level with my practice, with the way I was calibrating and stuff. um, and then yeah, like once I kind of just realized, wow, like I'm kind of in the middle of my range right now. I can go way higher for this phase of my life,
Yeah.
and yeah, and it's just yeah, and then just trust me. Once you kind of like ask yourself that, so many things will come up, and you'll realize like for most people, it's just man, I just need to meditate more, or I just do a little bit more gratitude, or whatever, or I should like manifest that vacation or whatever. And I want to make a distinction. It's not about like action as much as like calibration, meaning, okay, if
Mhm.
I want to have an amazing like vacation to a beach resort, and I feel like that is what will, one of my highest timelines in the space of my life, I'm not just gonna like try to make it happen with action. I will literally start scripting a little bit about it. I'll start doing affirmations about going to that beach resort. So it's all thought based. It's all affirmation and clearing based. So if I want to have an amazing birthday or amazing birthday celebration for my family, I'm doing affirmation about it. I'm not just going out and planning things and like, making restaurant reservations. I calibrate to that by holding that
Mhm.
frequency first, and then the action, whatever reservations will come.
Mhm.
So it's really that simple. Really that simple. So
Mhm.
some some people are in the lower part of the range. A lot of people probably listening are in the middle part of their current range. And yeah, it's that simple just to calibrate a little higher. So or a lot higher. So
Mhm.
um this is the art of living on your highest timeline for real.
Yeah.
So it'll make a huge difference. It'll make a huge difference. Even something like I'm gonna affirm for more fun every day. Like I can have way more fun this month. Even something simple as that will change the whole trajectory of your month. It's that simple.
Yeah. And one distinction I wanted to make, because I know like the past few episodes we've been talking a lot about clearing. So when you're scripting, for example, like um for the reservation and having like an epic birthday month, like you're not scripting to necessarily clear, right? It's just for you to fine tune and be have more clarity on like what you want to experience.
I mean, you can clear too. Like I'm sure you have to
Yeah.
clear too, because if I'm scripting like something for my mom's birthday, like resistance will come up. Like my
Mhm.
mom's never grateful whenever I buy her gifts or
Oh,
whatever, right? That's
right.
why I don't really want to throw a celebration because it's like, oh, I feel like she's never grateful, and then I just spend a bunch of money like
Yeah.
so just not even and just for things to be worse. And so that's an opportunity to clear. So you calibrate and you clear. So
Mhm.
it was perfectly, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you just notice a difference in your life. Like your life will start moving like way differently. It's like more HD in a way. Like it's like once you calibrate to a higher timeline, yeah,
Yeah.
it'll just be cool. Yeah. Mm. I
Yeah.
mean, like what?
No, I didn't realize like yeah, like I guess like I've already been feeling so good right now. Like I did
I
actually
know.
even, like think about like I could get better because I already feel so good.
Yeah.
Like, damn, okay.
I mean, you don't. This doesn't have to apply to you. This apply to me for sure because, like, kind of like the moment I got back, it was like I got back from Bangkok. I knew that this 3 months I was gonna go through like a somewhat of a transformational phase,
Yeah.
because the rest of the year for me looks insane, like
Yeah.
crazy. Like there's so much amazing things happening, and I just knew I needed this 3 months to really calibrate to that. And so I just been like focused so much on transformation and clearing and just my spiritual practice that I didn't realize, wow, there's a lot of other things that I want to calibrate to. Like I should be having more fun. Like I should be, I don't know, going to the movies more or like cooking more meals for my family or like I don't know, there's just so many things that just enhances your everyday life, just the joy of your everyday life. So that's really it. Yeah. That's all I got to say. Any last thoughts?
No, I think this is perfect.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm very happy to do an episode like this because it's a little different. It's more just yeah, just more me just going off the yeah like leading edge of what I'm experiencing right now and stuff like that. So really fun. Look forward to the next episode. Uh, check out my book on clearing resistance. Um, see you on the next one.
Everyone.
Peace.